Well, we've all heard of composting. Most of the time it's in your backyard. If you have a house, you've got the compost pile. Michael, we're going to talk a bit about worm composting.
Yeah.
Now, we're not going to compost worms, no. We're going to have a nice unit where you can, if you live in an apartment or a condo, you can compost your organic material using worms. How does that work?
Well, basically what it works is that biota that's in the bin will actually start breaking down the food that you deposit, and the worms will eat that small material. So what it is, you need to have a bin, you need to have a lid with holes in it so that air gets in it, because worms breathe through their skin, so it needs to have a lot of air going in there. But also you have to have moisture in there. So the bedding that we use is soil.
Right.
Okay, and then you put the soil in, you wet it with about 4 liters of water. Then you put the worms in there, spread them around.
Now, I'm going to stop you right there. It's not just, it's actually worms in already in something. What is it? Is that a dirt?
That's a soil food, so they can be shipped around and everything like that.
So your bag of worms, everything's in there. You put the dirt in. Now you put the worms in.
And then you start feeding it. And you feed it with nice organic matter that you would normally get out of your kitchen.
Right.
And you put that in, and Bob's your uncle, in 6 months' time, the whole bin would have turned over to compost, which is very, very rich for your plants outside. And then you have to separate the worms from their bedding. But the worms will eat half their body weight a day in material. So in here you have half a pound of worms, and I can just show you a couple worms here that
are these regular like earthworms you find in your garden?
No, they're definitely not.
Okay.
They're actually quite small, as you can see. They're called a red wiggler, and they actually enjoy the inside temperatures, so 15 to 25. Earthworms don't like that. They like to go up to about 10 degrees.
Right.
And so these ones are good, but they're also very, they eat a lot. They may not be very big. They're like piranhas. Lots of eating, but not very big.
Fantastic. Now, to wrap things up, of course, like you say, it's organic material, so, you know, leftover food from your dinner, this sort of thing. Not anything like plastics or tin. This is strictly organic. You keep it in there. Do you have to stir it? Is there any smell to it or anything?
No, there's no smell, because you actually, when you put the food in, you always bury it with at least an inch of soil. And you rotate the deposit site. So on this one here, what you're going to do is you're going to have the soil in here, you're going to excavate a hole here, and you're going to put the food in, you're going to bury it with your soil, and then you're going to rotate it around the bin. So you don't stir it up, you actually just leave it there, because worms will come into that deposit site and eat the worms.
Fantastic. Well, there's the ABCs of worm composting. Great thing to do, especially if you live in a small place like an apartment or maybe a condo and you want to do your part to be the change. Shaw TV, we'll see you next time.